Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Welcome to another succulent Sunday. Only it's Monday, but I'm only one day off. Today I'm going to be working on my aloe bonsai. I started this aloe from a very small plant in the year 2016, so it's been 6 years, and it's been growing considerably ever since. So it's growing in this kind of massive clump style. So I'll rotate it around so you can see it from all angles. So here I go. Today, I'm going to take a good look at the aloe, remove any of the older foliage to kind of raise the canopy, and do any pruning that's required. Here's a look at the upper canopy of the aloe. So you can see the new growth from the summer. Looks really nice. It's kind of a bluey green color. And the older leaves are kind of faded. So I'm going to remove all the older leaves. These are older leaves from like indoors over the winter. So by removing all these older leaves, it'll raise the canopy a bit, so maybe you can see the trunk structure a little more clearly. Alright, so these older leaves, you can either pull them off. If you grab it by the base here and pull down, you can pull the leaf off. Or you can come in with the scissors and just cut them off. So you can come in and cut through the base of the leaf, and that works just as well. As I'm working away here, I'm going to be cleaning up some of these older remains of leaves here, kind of exposing the trunk a little more. It's kind of a sheath that forms around the leaf. Yeah, just a little bit of cleanup, make it look nicer. So here's some older leaves here that I've cut. So I'm going to peel them back, like that. And there's another one here, kind of a stubby one that I'm going to prune back, or peel back. And there's the remains of one here. So that will also come off. That one's not coming off so easily, I'll have to cut it. There. So that's cleaned up now. It's all new foliage. Now I could even prune it more. I've got a couple of leaves up here, one coming to the front and one coming to the back, that I guess I'll also take off, and I think I will. I'm going to kind of reduce the foliage a bit. Like that, kind of minimizing it. So I'll do that for all these multi-trunks coming up, removing the older leaves and a few of the newer ones until I get it kind of sparse on top. And the reason I'm doing that is it gets more light down to the interior of the tree, and I may get more budding off of the trunks. I'll get more pups forming, and that'll eventually form branches. There's a branch here. You can see there's one forming right there. So that's what I want. So I have lots more aerial roots forming here. You can see there's a bright yellow one in there. This one's reached the ground and is growing in the soil now. Kind of exciting. There's another one here developing. Reminds me of the movie Alien. When you pull these leaves off, you get that aloe slime dripping out. I don't know if I have an example here. Yeah. It's kind of like an alien, all that slime coming from the alien's mouth. Smells good though. Okay, so I've got a lot of the older leaves cleaned up, not all of them. Still working away here. Looking for more older ones. I've got most of the older leaves stripped off now, so now I'm looking at it, and I think some of these ones that are hanging down in front of the trunk line need to be removed. So I'll do that next. I might have to cut these ones They're quite young. Just leaving a little bit of foliage on the tip of the growing tip. Here's another one that can be removed here. One here. Yeah, so now you can see the trunk line a little more clearly. I'll do the same at the back here. There's a lot of hanging branches, or hanging leaves, that need to come off. There we go. More of that slime dripping off. Now, I'm going to start removing leaves that are facing in towards the center. So I want all the leaves kind of fanning out. I don't want them kind of all getting congested in the center here. So I'm looking for leaves that are pointing inwards. So here's one here. I'll remove that. There's one here crisscrossing everything. I'll take that one out like that. Another one here. All right, I've got the older leaves pruned away. I pruned the newer leaves kind of back up to the tips, and then I pruned away any leaves that are growing in towards the center. So it really cleaned it out a lot. So there's a look at the front view now. So now I've got to step back and have a look at the overall kind of profile of the canopy. It doesn't look like I took a lot off, but when you look at the pile of leaves here, it's quite a bit. Leaves and old debris in that, and the old butterfly. Yeah, so I have taken quite a bit off. It didn't really change the look of the tree too much, or the aloe too much. Here's a look at the aloe now after 6 years of growing it from a little tiny plant. Well, it's certainly looking interesting. That base has got a lot going on, aerial roots and multi-trunks. How can I improve this is the question. Maybe, removing some of the trunks, like the one here kind of crosses over the ones behind it. It might look better without that one. Unfortunately, that one has a lot of cool branches and an aerial root off it, so I'm reluctant to remove it, but maybe that would look better. I better not remove it. It's got too many features on it. I think style-wise it would look better without that, but for now, I'll keep it. I like everything that's happening on the left side. Looks good. Aerial roots forming. The overall size of the canopy, it's not a real rounded shape on top. It's kind of haphazard. But, maybe that's... I don't know how I would control that. If I do a hard prune to one of these stems, it may shoot out new branches, or it may just die off. I'm trying to see if I have any that... See, I cut this one and I have new branches behind it here. But I don't know when I cut that one if I had pups off here. So I'm not sure. This one could definitely be reduced. I have a pup down here. So I could cut that one back, and I think I will. From the front it sticks up. So let me cut that one off. All right, so here's the pup. I'm going to prune it a little higher, and maybe I'll get some, another branch coming out the back. So we'll see. So here I go. Just like that. Now let's look and see if there's any others near the edges that have pups that I could cut back. There is one here. That could also be cut back, so I will do that also. I'll cut it back to here. This tall one here, I don't see any pups that have formed on it. Maybe that'll come in the future. Just cleaning out some debris there. Yeah, let me look from the front here. This one is kind of tall, but I don't have anything. There's no back branching on it. Yeah, I don't really want to take a risk on the others. That's a cool branch. It kind of twists out like an S shape. Really like that. That's cool. So I think, you know, in the future, you know, that's one really good branch there. I'll show you a close-up of it. Here's a close-up of that branch, so you can see it's kind of an S shape here where it comes out from the trunk. It's pretty cool. I think those will be the branches I keep in the future and get rid of some of the more straighter ones. So any branch with interest I'll keep, like one with aerial roots and branching and that. But, you know, maybe in the future some of the other more boring ones will get cleaned out. Yeah, so those tall ones, I could take a chance and just do a big cut on them and see what happens, but I think chances are they would die back. That's what I'm afraid of. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait till I get a pup forming here, another branch, and then I'll prune them back. Here's another look at the front. So I think it improved this side, cutting that one down. It's kind of a little more rounded, the canopy. If I can get some pups forming on this side, I can round that one a bit. You know, give it a little more of a bit of style to the tree. But I'm very happy with it. You know, 6 years from that little tiny cutting, it's turning into something that's very interesting. Whether it's a bonsai or not, well, that's debatable, but I think it's a very cool plant, and I'm really happy I started one, and I'm really looking forward to growing it, you know, over the next 10 years to see what it turns into. I think it'll turn into something really, really cool. I'll rotate the aloe around so you can see it from all angles, so here we go. That's a good front view right here. Right there's a good front view. It's really, really interesting through here. Yeah, so when I repot it, that would be an awesome view right there. Oh, I like that. All kinds of aerial roots. Canopy looks good. Yeah. Looks like some monster. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, so that is the aloe. I'm going to prune up one more aloe today, and that's my climbing aloe. This one I can prune anywhere and it branches back, so that's a good trait to have in an aloe bonsai. The trunk is also thickening up. I'll show you a close-up of it. Here's a close-up look at the trunk, so you can see it's getting quite thick and it's getting woody. This was originally a clump style. It had branches coming out everywhere, and I pruned them off, kind of trying to get a bit of a trunk. And I see a lot of shoots have grown back in, so it's kind of back to a clump style. So I'll be pruning those away today, keeping my trunk line, and I'll also be pruning the long trunk line back. Another good feature of these climbing aloes is they grow really easily from cutting. So, alright, so I'm going to prune the main trunk line down. I'll keep some nice healthy leaves on it, so I won't take it too short. I think to right here. So here I go. Just like that. And then I'll take this back one. I'm not even sure if I want to keep that one. I'm going to prune it down lower for now to here. Then I'll take a look at the overall arrangement of trunks in that and decide what I'm going to prune away and what I'm going to keep. Here's a look at the aloe. The pot that the aloe's in was made by Eldon Leese. He is one of the founding members of the KW Bonsai Society. There's his name on the bottom, Eldon Leese. It's a beautiful pot. So let's have a look at the tree now. I'm not even sure where I had it, the front. Maybe somewhere there was the front. Not really sure. So I've got some new shoots growing up from the trunk here. I don't think I want them. I want to keep some kind of a trunk line on this, so I'm going to prune those away. Like that. There's another one coming off the back here. I'm going to prune that away. Again, you know, trying to get a bit of a trunk line on it. And then there's a couple of shoots growing out the back here. I think they also need to go. So they'll get pruned away too. Like that. So now you can see kind of the trunk of the tree. So this one comes up. I pruned it here and it divided into two, which is pretty good. This one, oh, there's a shoot there. So there's another branch coming. See it there? So yeah, I think by pruning this taller one off, it'll sort of encourage that one to grow. So I will prune these shorter stems down to an outward facing leaf here and here. And then I've got this sort of secondary trunk at the back, so I'll prune that back short to an outward facing leaf here. And one back to here. Maybe I should go even lower to there. There, kind of keeping that back trunk line really compact. So I don't know, it looks maybe a bit more tree-like now. You can see these aerial roots. I think that one's dried up. Yeah, I'll take that one away. So I'll keep developing it. You know, hopefully I'll get more branching, eventually a canopy. And we'll see if I can make it into a more of a, you know, conventional looking bonsai with a trunk and branches, or maybe like a quiver tree or something like that. We'll see. The purpose of Succulent Sunday is to explore the world of succulents and see what succulent plants can be grown into tree forms or interesting forms. Like this may not be considered a tree form, but it's certainly interesting. And my goal is to maybe get some succulent plants that can go in a bonsai show in the future. And that's all for this Succulent Sunday. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.